What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, first of all, we're rocking the new Smooth As merch. This is the crew neck. You can hop on our website and find that. A whole bunch of other stuff that we've released. But yeah, so we're not working on the GR Yaris today. We're not working on the Sprint. We're actually working on we're actually working on my personal ute, the big NP300 Navara there. And what we're doing is we're putting a under ute water tank. So what it is basically this water tank will sit above the factory spare tire. So there should be a nice cutout on the body there, and that will, made to fit exactly. And then the spare wheel will go back on. So when we go away camping, instead of having to bring water tanks and water bottles and stuff, we can just fill this bad boy up and away we go. So it holds 21 litres, made by Under Ute Tanks, Australian company. They make them for all other utes, and they're just specifically cut out for each ute, just so they're hidden away, nothing's affected, you can't see it, and then you just have like a little hose or tap out of your preferred preference or wherever you want it to come out. So let's grab some tools and get started.
Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try catch me.
Alright, spare wheels out of the way. Now let's see exactly how this sits under here, just to get an idea of what's going on. I reckon that's gonna get in the way. And this bloody stick I put in here will get in the way. So this is what it looks of it. Let's put that up there. I reckon this goes like that. Okay. And then it looks like the brackets must bolt to where the tow bar is. Yeah, these two. Now it does say in the instructions you're going to move some of the wiring, in which I can feel it's fouling on. So let me figure this one out, boys, and then I'll show you what I've done. Brackets on, which I don't know if they're left and right. Exhaust side front, okay. That's good. So then, if that's exhaust side front, which is that side, this would be that way. I'm assuming. Alright. That's the way it feels scratchable. Yeah, that's right, but it's not sitting right. I've got to do something here. What's going on here? Let me just think about this for a sec. So, a big gap for a reason. That means this isn't sitting flush the way it's meant to be. Or, it's not far forward enough, which is because of that. Okay, come back to this in a sec.
Follow the instructions.
The instructions were clear, but not 100% clear. It said you got to move some wires. It didn't say that it's a bloody hair thickness you got to get these wires through, and it's, yeah. Anyway, we got there in the end. I'll show you in a sec. I'm just mocking it all up to make sure it fits. Are you recording me?
No. It just looks like you're struggling.
Yeah. My abs.
Is that a workout?
You having fun there, Ash?
Attack!
Ow! My fucking finger, man. Where's that 10 mil nut? Pass me those 2 little bolts there.
This one?
Yeah. No, those 2 little bolts there.
Alright, I'm leaving Stanley out here.
Right. Take the dog. He's gonna annoy me.
No, he won't. He's just chilling.
His chilling annoys me.
Stanley. He just wants to, you know, chill in the sun.
Stanley, come here. Alright. Let's see if he'll come. Alright, we got there in the end. Let's show you what's happening. Now, I initially thought, oh yeah, move all these wires and this and that, make some room. It doesn't work because the clearance is that little in between sort of the chassis support, or sorry, the tub support and the water tank, that you can't get in on the top once the wires are tucked away. So basically they've made it so there's just a little bit of a gap, enough to feed the wires through and have the plug come out from underneath. Now I guess that's good because it's sort of like factory, but the thing is the gap is so minimal that you sort of, one of the wires gets squashed, and these ones here are very tight fit, and obviously, you know, you don't want wires tied up against the body because over time when they move it could cut through. So I think there's enough movement where that won't happen, but it would just be nice if there was just a little bit more clearance in between there. But look, other than that, now this can all go back up there. That can go back up there, that's fine. Brackets mounted, so your 2 brackets that hold this water tank bolt to where your tow bar 2 bolts go. So obviously you got about 6 bolts on the tow bar, but you use these 2 here. Same on the other side. So that's all mounted up. Let me just finish routing the hoses and then I'll get a nice clean video and show you what the finished product looks like. So the kit comes with these, which I've sort of unwinded by accident. Bit of thread tape. So just going to assume that this will just wind into that. Once you get it started, it'll catch. Now, also to note, at the top of this tank it's got a nice relief valve, so when you fill it up, it fills up nice and quick, and when you drain it or use it, it doesn't, you know, glug 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 glug. So this, I'm presuming you just keep tightening until it doesn't go anymore, which is nice about there. And then we've got the other one, which I'll move you guys, readjusters. Can you see that hole? Yeah, you can. Same thing. Now it says you don't have to clamp the hoses when you put them on if you get a nice deep fit. So we'll try that now. Get that facing each other. And now push these back again and readjust yours. How do people do this underneath a car? It's hard work. Now we've got this hose. So connects to your 2 pipes, and then this one goes down to your tap. So I'm going to try and push this on nice and tight. Oh, you got to tighten these as well. Okay. Alright, 1 sec. now we've got to just decide where we want to run this hose to. Easy. All right, I've got it roughly plumbed up. So that's connected. That's connected. Ideally, I'd like these hoses to be a bit longer, which I think once it's all buttoned up and that and everything's sitting nice, I will extend these hoses. And at the moment, I've just got it coming out in between the bumper bar and the tow bar. So I'll give you an exterior look now. So externally now, it's just coming out of here. So that's where you fill it up from. That's your tap off and on. Ideally, I would like to sort of drill through here and just have the outlet coming in there, and I can turn it on and off just by putting my hand in here. That's an idea, possibly. But for now, this will do. I will extend these hoses, I believe, just to make it a bit less tighter. It's just garden hose, obviously, you can tell. So we'll put this spare wheel back on, give it a final look, but I'll just show you what it looks like now from here. Actually, the exhaust is on this side, so I'll show you from this side. So there it is. Two brackets. Sits in between there. And the only issue I can see us running into in the future would be if I run a bigger spare, which ideally I would like to one day. This has the cutouts for, I'm assuming, the factory spare, which I'm about to test now. Let's see what happens. Spare wheel all in, and as you can see, it's pretty much made to fit. So if you were going to be fitting a bigger spare, don't think it's going to happen with this little setup. I'm not sure how you could overcome this. Removing the water tank, I guess. Yeah, a bit more room on this side actually, so you can fit a slightly bigger tyre, but no chance of fitting 33s. Let's fill it up. Alright, water is on. And she's filling up. Now I'm just under here looking for leaks. So far nothing, and I'm assuming once it's full, it'll probably start coming out of the vent hose at the top. Sorry, the ventilation at the top there. So no leaks yet. 21 litres, let's go. And that's how you know it's full. So she's full. I've turned it off, so it should stop. So there you have it, boys. 21 litres of fresh tap water. Happy days. So overall, happy with the fitment. Would be nice if there was a little bit more room for the wires, as mentioned earlier, and for the hoses to be a little bit longer, but hoses I can fix myself. Wires, look, it's enough, but just would be nice for a little bit more. And that's it, yeah. So just extend those hoses later and find a permanent position for this. Don't really want to leave it hanging out there. Have one of my mates stitch me up and leave it on. UntitledChapter.com. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I'll link it down below. I think they're making for a range of other utes. Give it a go. 21 litres, more than enough for a weekend trip, I think. Shit, you can even fill it up with Scotch and Coke if you like, or whatever you want. I think it's a good little addition. Overall, what, 21 litres would be 21 kilos. I think that's how the maths works. And the unit itself with the brackets probably weighs another 10 kilos at most. So you're adding about 30 kilos to the rear, which is roughly what you'd add if you were to carry, you know, water in bottles or whatnot. So I'm happy with that, man. Cool little install. Yeah, let me know what you think. So that took about an hour. Once I figured everything out, probably if I was to do it again, half an hour, 35, 40 minutes, yeah. Anyway, over to Rob, he's working on his Hilux. Alright guys, how are we? Rob from Smooth As. So today we're doing something different. I've got my N80 Hilux Rugged X, and we're going to be doing a PPD DPF back exhaust system, stainless steel, and it's from PPD.
So let's see how good it is to install. And we've heard that there's not much different in sound, but definitely some flow difference, and it looks pretty as well. Okay, so all the exhaust is out. So what I did, I came to the back here and just popped the bracket off there, the rubber, slid that off the exhaust, left those two middle ones on just there to support the exhaust, and then undone this mid flange, and then I popped those two rubbers off there. Then I came to the front and just undone these two, which is just 14 mils, and the middle ones are 14 mils, so it's quite easy. So now we're going to put the new one on. There's the back exhaust over there. So this is how the exhaust goes. So this will attach to the DPF. Comes with a gasket here, and then the original cone gasket's inside, so we're going to reuse that with the original spring bolts. So you've got a pivot there. In the middle section, 2 bolts and a gasket. Those will get joined up, slide in, bracket goes over. And then you've got this part here that goes over the diff. And there's your little dumpy there. So everything's provided, it looks good. Just got to remember to slide this clamp over prior to pushing these into each other. Otherwise you're going to have to pull the clamp fully apart, and it's just easier just to slide it over now. So alright, so we're going to fit this pipe up first that goes to the DPF. Where the DPF is, there's the cone gasket, which this comes with this gasket here. I found that it really didn't do anything, so I've disregarded that. Used the cone gasket that's from factory with the factory bolts. I have tightened this end up first, put everything on loosely, then I have ran all the way to the back of the vehicle. Started by tightening the last flange first, making sure that dumpy was straight. Then the second flange. Then I've gone over to tighten this flange here, the first one from the DPF. Made sure there was enough clearance here. I have propped this up here, and then this one here, you do it last, because this center pipe might be a bit hard to see, but this center pipe here, you can rotate it a little bit because you've got this slip-on flange. So I've rotated it, got it all straight, so tighten from back to front basically. Everything seems nice and good, and we'll give it a start up now. Okay, so upon start up, it's not that loud. I've just noticed it's a little bit more deeper, got a bit of a deeper tone at the rear, which is good. It's not loud. It's just all I wanted was a little bit of a deep tone and preferably better flow. That is sitting beautifully. Leader, heaps lighter. Got rid of that muffler there, so we've lost a lot of weight there. Give it a bit of a rev. So guys, yeah, like everyone says, look, there's not much of a noise difference. There's a little bit of a deeper tone. I've noticed it. I reckon it sounds great. Hats off to PPD Performance, great system. I've noticed you can hear a turbo a little bit more when you give it a rev, but we're going to take it for a test drive soon and see how it is. Alright, so the exhaust is on. Like I said, a little bit of a deeper note, which is great. And driving, it's a little bit deeper. You get a bit of noise, but not too much. But it's good because it's not loud in the cabin. It's not droney, so I quite like it. You can hear a little bit more through the turbo, just a tad. So I wouldn't say it's a massive difference, but once again for me, it's well suited because it's more of a family car for me as well, and I enjoy it. It's not too loud. It's still comfortable. I wonder if it'll make any difference with fuel consumption. That we'll have to check at a later date. And thanks for watching.
Chances I took still, I move straight on these rooks now. hold me up or hold me down. Have my back or hold my crown. Either you with me or not.